He was 6 foot tall and probably weighed 350 pounds, but he was as strong as an ox. With his ever-present smile and hearty laugh, you may not notice that he was blind, but he had been since birth. His name was Joseph William Harris, but to me he was Uncle Joe Bill. On April the 20th, it will be 8 years since Uncle Joe Bill passed away. And Joe Bill was the second child and the first son born to Albert and Lottie Harris. My grandparents knew that it would be important for Uncle Joe to develop a trade and to be as self-sufficient as possible, so they sent him to the North Carolina School for the Blind in Raleigh when he was 6 years old. Back at home, when he was 10 years old, the family was working in the cotton field and they wouldn't let him help. Well, he got mad and said, "Buy me some cane and I'll show you what I can do," because he had learned how to put cane bottoms in the chairs and backs of chairs when he was in school in Raleigh. Now at the age of 10, Uncle Joe Bill opened the Harris Chair Caning Company, which he continued to run for the next 65 years. Uncle Joe was a celebrity of sorts in the upper end of Cleveland County, where he lived with his sister and my Aunt Mary. He would occasionally be on television or in the newspaper displaying his chair caning skills. My family lived in another town, so it was only a few times a year that I got to see him. When I was in the 5th grade, my father transferred his job back to Cleveland County, and little did I know that this was going to be an important part of my life. Back when I was in middle school and elementary, in middle school, and schools would celebrate what was called Heritage Day. I don't know if they still do, but they would invite local craftsmen to come in and demonstrate their craft. Uncle Joe was always there, smiling and answering the questions that the kids would ask. Someone even asked him one day what it was like to be blind, and I will never forget his response. Being blind is not a handicap to me. It is only an inconvenience. I was so proud that he was my uncle and not someone else's. When I got my driver's license, I would drive the truck that he owned to pick up and deliver chairs. Some of the trips were not short, and they would take me to places that I'd never been before, and I was sure that we were lost. And I'd have no idea where we were, but he always knew. He would say, "You need to turn to the right at the next stoplight." Of course, I'd be thinking, what stoplight? And sure enough, over the hill, around the curve, there would be a stoplight. He explained that because he was blind, his other senses were more acute. And I would, on occasion, see him, when he was looking for something, I would see him snap his fingers, and he would walk right to it because he could hear the echo. This is a funny story that I remember from one of those trips. I was taking him somewhere to pick up a chair, and we pulled up to a stop sign, and he said, "Darryl, you got it my way," and started laughing. But just to be safe, I went ahead and looked. But on these trips that we took to deliver chairs and pick up chairs, it gave us an opportunity to talk about a lot of stuff. And one of these things was sports. He loved sports, particularly North Carolina State basketball. He also enjoyed water skiing and bowling, and other topics that we talked about on these trips was me and my future. He never fussed, but I had no idea what I wanted to do when I got out of high school. He would always say, just make sure whatever it is that you enjoy what it is. Because if you really enjoy what you're doing, it's not really work. As I got older, Uncle Joe and I didn't get to spend as much time together. I went to college, got married, and the business of life took over. The times that I had to spend with him dwindled to just a few times a year. And I always thought that someday I'll make the time to go sit down with him and just catch up on everything. But on April the 20th, 2006, the opportunity was gone. I reflect on how Uncle Joe Bill helped shape who I am. He showed me how to live, laugh. No obstacle was too big, and work hard for what you want. I have many regrets, things I wished I'd done or said to people, but nothing hurts more than the fact that I did not get to tell him that he was what an inspiration and a role model he was for me during my teenage years. He never heard me say how proud I was to be his nephew and how much I loved him.